Lagos was drowning in traffic again. Horns screamed endlessly. Danfo conductors shouted over each other. Street lights flickered through heavy rain. And Femi Adebayo stood exhausted at Oshodi bus stop after another frustrating day of searching for work. His phone battery was dead. His wallet held only 700 Nigerian nairas. And his mother kept calling him useless because he still couldn't support the family. The final bus heading toward Oja suddenly arrived just before midnight. But something felt wrong. The bus was completely empty. No loud music. No conductor yelling. Only silence. The driver leaned out slowly. Entering, he asked softly. Femi hesitated. Then he noticed something strange. The driver's wristwatch was stopped exactly at 12 o'clock. Femi entered carefully. The inside smelled strangely like wet soil after rain. As the bus moved, passengers slowly appeared. Not entered. Appeared. An old woman carrying live chickens. A businessman with dusty shoes. A schoolgirl holding a broken umbrella. None of them spoke. None looked at each other. And every single passenger wore the same expression. Regret. Femi's chest tightened. He reached for his phone. Still dead. Then the conductor appeared beside him suddenly. Femi nearly screamed. The man hadn't been there before. No loud talking, the conductor whispered. Some passengers are still choosing. The bus left the main road. Femi frowned immediately. This isn't the Ojo route. Nobody answered. Outside the windows, Lagos slowly disappeared. No street lights. No cars. No people. Only darkness. Then at exactly midnight, a hidden road appeared ahead. A narrow glowing road surrounded by thick forest. Femi's breathing stopped. He had used this route all his life. That road had never existed before. The driver smiled slightly. If you miss the turn, he whispered. You miss your life? Then the bus entered the glowing road. As the bus drove deeper into darkness, Femi noticed something terrifying. The old woman's feet never touched the floor. They floated slightly above it. Cold sweat rolled down his neck. He looked around carefully. The businessman beside him had no reflection in the window. The schoolgirl's eyes looked completely white whenever lightning flashed. Femi stood up instantly. I want to get down. The entire bus turned slowly toward him at once. Even the driver. Even the conductor. Then the conductor smiled. You already crossed. The conductor finally explained. The midnight road only appears to people carrying deep regret. People standing between destiny and destruction. Every passenger had missed an important turn in life. The businessman chose greed over family. The old woman betrayed her sister years ago. The schoolgirl ran away from home before dying in an accident. And me? Femi whispered. The conductor stared directly into him. You're about to make your own wrong turn. Suddenly, Femi saw visions outside the bus windows. His future. Crime. Violence. Prison. His mother crying. His younger brother becoming like him. And one final terrifying vision. Femi lying dead beside Lagos roadside at 22. The bus suddenly stopped. A man stood alone in the middle of the glowing road. He looked exactly like Femi. Only older. Tired. Broken. Scar across his face. The older man entered the bus slowly. Then sat directly beside Femi. You still have time, the older version whispered painfully. Femi's blood turned cold. What are you? I'm what happens if you keep blaming everybody else for your life?
This road.
Silence filled the bus.
Never changes.
Then the older Femi began crying softly. The conductor gave Femi a terrifying choice. Get off the bus now. And return home to struggle honestly. Or continue riding. And receive wealth instantly. Femi hesitated. Then suddenly, stacks of money appeared beside him. Designer clothes, luxury cars, fame. Everything he ever wanted. But hidden behind every vision: blood, fear, loneliness. The older version of Femi whispered, "Fast money always collects later." Suddenly, one passenger screamed and jumped out of the moving bus. The moment he touched the road, he disappeared into dust. Femi panicked. What is happening? The conductor's smile vanished. The road keeps those who refuse truth. The forest outside suddenly began whispering names. Real names. Hidden secrets. Sins. Femi covered his ears. But the road already knew him. The bus arrived at a hidden city deep inside darkness. The place looked like Lagos, but abandoned. Broken streetlights flickered endlessly. Empty markets. Silent buildings. No people. Only shadows watching from windows. This is the city of missed chances, the conductor explained. Everybody here ignored their final warning. Femi saw men begging for another opportunity. Women crying beside empty homes. Young boys holding money but looking completely empty inside. And suddenly, Femi saw his own face among them. Inside an old building, thousands of glowing doors appeared. Each door showed a different future. One showed Femi becoming successful honestly. Another showed prison. Another showed him joining dangerous gangs. One showed his mother dying because he chose greed. Femi collapsed emotionally. How do I know the right path? The conductor answered quietly. The right road is usually the hardest one. Suddenly, dark creatures emerged from the forest. Tall shadow beings with glowing eyes. The passengers screamed. The bus sped through the midnight road wildly. The creatures chased them violently. The conductor shouted, "They feed on people who surrender their future." Femi realized something terrifying. The road was alive. And it was testing everyone inside. The bus finally stopped at a lonely crossroads. One road glowed gold. The other disappeared into darkness. "This is your stop," the driver said. "If you choose wrong, you never return." Femi's legs shook. The shadow creatures were getting closer. And behind him, the older version of himself slowly began fading away. Femi looked at the golden road carefully. It was rough, broken, difficult. The dark road looked easier, comfortable, fast. For one dangerous moment, he almost chose it. Then he remembered his younger brother. If he failed, his brother might follow the same path. Femi stepped onto the harder road. Instantly, the shadow creature screamed angrily. Femi suddenly woke up beside a roadside in Lagos at sunrise. Traffic noises returned. Street hawkers shouted again. Everything looked normal. But his clothes were covered in dust from the midnight road. And his phone battery suddenly worked again. Time read 12:01 a.m. Only 1 minute had passed. Then Femi noticed something terrifying. A fresh scar had appeared on his hand. The exact same scar the older version carried. Weeks later, Femi started changing his life slowly. He found honest work, helped his family, avoided dangerous friends. But one rainy midnight, while returning home, he saw headlights behind him. A yellow Danfo bus. The same bus. The driver slowed beside him. Then smiled. "You made the right turn." The bus drove away slowly. But as it disappeared, another hidden glowing road appeared briefly in the distance, waiting for someone else. If a mysterious road appeared at midnight and showed you your future, would you risk taking the shortcut? Or choose the harder path?